Scorpio and Scorpio. Scorpio compatibility with Scorpio in love, life, sex, communication, friendship and trust. Scorpio and Scorpio. Scorpio and Scorpio sexual and intimacy compatibility. Two Scorpio partners can be a dream come true when it comes to sex, as much as they can be each other's worst nightmare. Their sexual energy and inner tension is something often hard to handle individually, and when they get together, this either multiplies to infinity, or they find an absolute understanding. Usually, we can predict the first option. In general, every Scorpio needs someone to balance them, for they go to extremes of all kinds, and when together, they will rarely have the patience or the tenderness to balance anything, let alone each other. Their sex life is intense, often amazing, although everything around it seems to be falling apart. They will fight to make up, manipulate obviously to make each other angry, and do things out of spite. When we talk about spicing one's sex life, we have to understand that these two are spices themselves, and there is rarely anything boring about them. In order for their sexual relationship to work out, both partners need to stick to that inner tenderness and emotional closeness when together, or they might have to end things as if torn apart by nuclear energy. The key here is to slow down, breathe in, and spend time in each other's cozy arms. Scorpio and Scorpio trust. What a strange relationship of two possessive, want to know all, striving for freedom partners. As much as each Scorpio wants to be involved in their partner's life, no Scorpio wants to be controlled or let anyone else be involved in their own life. None of them will understand the lack of trust coming from their partner, lifting their ego high, knowing that there is no reason why they would continue sharing anything with the other Scorpio anymore. The problem here is in the fact that neither of them seems to be aware of what they want from their partner, and this can turn into a real battle for supremacy. Still, often enough, they will see each other as true and honest, leaving their insecurities aside, trusting each other without too many words. Scorpio and Scorpio communication and intellect. When emotional baggage is not a part of their everyday communication, the depth both of their minds have will be an incredible stimulus for each conversation they have. No one can understand a Scorpio intellectually as much as another Scorpio. Their topics can easily become dark, not because they both want to talk about depressing things, but because they understand each other in areas other people don't want to deal with. This is a good way for both of them to discover that they are not alone, and it can be healing for each partner for as long as emotional expectations are not involved. If they work together and compete to advance to the same position or feel like they endanger each other's status in any way, their contact can become truly unpleasant and turn to arguing, dismissal of anything said, or in one word, disrespect. When they start a battle against each other, it cannot seem to stop, until one of them is beaten dead and there is nothing more that can be done for them to get back in the game. If they see each other as adversaries, they will sting each other for victory, meaning they will do whatever it takes to win. If they distance themselves from a situation, they might realize that none of them actually endangers the other. To find mutual understanding, they need to lead separate lives and give each other enough room to do so. Scorpio and Scorpio emotions. Scorpio is a water sign and represents all dismissed emotions we don't want to deal with. This makes representatives of this sign turn to the dark emotional issues, and this is something they will both understand in each other. The problem with Scorpio is in its battle with the moon and the fact that emotions aren't approved here. This can make them both intolerant for weakness, rough in their approach to one another, and too judgmental toward each other's emotional needs, even though they both actually share the same needs. They will both be faced with emotions they don't want to deal with, simply because that is their individual role in other people's lives. This could lead to numerous conflicts, but it could also be the base for incredible personal evolution of each partner, and an opportunity to be with someone who truly understands the depth of their hearts. The best way for them to approach this relationship is through deepest emotional acceptance and the tolerance for incredible difference in character, even though they are, strangely, the same. Scorpio and Scorpio values. The problem with things they value is in the illusion of value they both share. They will value rationality and emotional maturity, but those are things none of them can actually deliver all the time. They belong to the element of water and are deeply emotional, while valuing each other's lack of emotion, shown at the beginning of their relationship. They do value similar things, but they are not entirely rational or realistic in their choices. This makes them susceptible to judging their own reflection in one another. Scorpio and Scorpio shared activities. They won't have a hard time discussing or agreeing on where to go and what to do together, but their choices might not make them happy. Again, this is about the balance they both seek, needing a partner of opposite character and choices. Their contact could lead them to all the dark places, as they play out situations they couldn't play out with anyone else. Even though they will feel sad and dried out most of the time, as two members of fixed quality, they could hold on to each other for a long time. The more time they spend together, the less energy they might have, for there is a silent, inner battle in both of them that drains it out of their systems. Summary: Scorpio and Scorpio have this tendency to bring out the worst in each other. Even though they can share the deepest understanding known to the entire zodiac, they can also get too dark and depressed together, sinking into their pool of unresolved emotions. Their emotional understanding is something worth cherishing, if they are both open for their own feelings and accept their own inner needs.